Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Six minutes after 9 o'clock, it is time for Veterans News. Gary Pascale sitting in the captain's seat. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Larry, and good morning, faithful listeners out there and veterans. It's great to be with you on this morning. Little chilly start to the morning. It wasn't as cold today, supposedly, as yesterday, but I had to go something I don't ever do, Larry, and that's start the car and warm it up before I got in it today to drive to the station. Well, we do have to start the day off on a sad note because we have lost a firefighter and a law enforcement officer. So we'll go ahead and start with that. We have firefighter Charles Chuck McCormick. Okay, he was with the West Peculiar Fire Protection District in Peculiar, Missouri. His end of watch was January the 5th. And we have Public Safety Officer Jackson Ryan Winkler, who was with the Florence Regional Airport, Department of Public Safety, South Carolina. His end of watch was also January the 5th. Our prayers and our thoughts go out to the families of this firefighter and this law enforcement officer. Larry?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Well, you know, we couldn't do the Veterans News Hour if it wasn't for the fine folks here at The Source, WOCA. So, of course, Larry, our thanks go out to all you fine people here that put us on the air every week and keep the veterans informed in Marion County. And also the great folks at Bob Wine's Camellia's Garden and Nursery. When it comes to your landscaping, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilizer, and much more. Bob Wines will even deliver, plant, and guarantee their trees. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery has been keeping things blooming in Ocala since 1952. Bob Wines is located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in our own beautiful Ocala. You can contact them by phone at area code 352-629-5766. And Bob Wines offers a 10% discount to veterans who can provide proof of their service. And it's a great place to be. And this year, when I go to Bob Wine's in late winter or early spring, rather than to replace my plants, I'll be adding more because, so far we haven't had any freezes and I haven't lost any. So, go ahead and get out there and get your plants. They always got good deals going on, and they take good care of veterans. And also the fine folks at Hires Baxley. Hires Baxley has had generations of families honor them with their trust and confidence. And they believe it's because over the last 128 years, their team of caring professionals have established a reputation of serving families with excellence and compassion. Hires Baxley currently partners with Boy Scout Troops Number 72 to properly dispose of decommissioned American flags. They're also a drop-off location for the program Cell Phones for Soldiers, or helping to provide minutes that matter and helping heroes home. Hires Baxley is located at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard in our own beautiful Ocala, or you can call them with any questions that you might have at area code 352-629-7171. Information can also be found on the World Wide Web simply by typing in hires-baxley.com. And I do have a few announcements here. We have for Saturday, January the 11th. That's this Saturday, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah.
Wow, January 11th is coming. That's my daughter's birthday, too. I'm glad this reminded me of that. We're going to have the welcome home for the 351st Military Police Company. That's going to start at 9 a.m. at the Ocala, Marion County Veterans Memorial Park. If you've never been there, it's at 2601 Southeast Fort King Street. If you need information on this event or any other event that happens in the park, you can contact the Veterans Service Office at area code 352-671-8422. And, there's a lot of things that go on in that park. It's a beautiful park. So, go ahead and get information on it and don't miss out on the wonderful things we have coming. And, of course, every chance we get, we'll talk about them on the radio here. How much time we got before the commercial break?
It looks like about 35 seconds.
35 seconds. All right, well, we're going to be talking about the stand down today, but I'm excited about it because it's getting close. But seeing as we only had a few seconds there, I won't say anything till after break.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Enter a world of battling knights, dancing gypsies, and mystifying magicians during the 34th Annual Hogtown Medieval Fair, January 18th and 19th, 26th and 27th, and January 31st through February 2nd. Cheer on royal knights as they joust for their ladies' honor. Then wander through the marketplace where hundreds of artisans sell their medieval wares. Information at hogtownfair.com. Come one, come all to the Hogtown Medieval Fair, funded in part by Visit Gainesville, Alachua County.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Folks, if you've not seen it, you owe yourself a visit. I'm talking about the Camellia Show Spectacular going on right now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. The conditions have been perfect, and that means there are hundreds of trees, many of them 50 years old, all over this 5.5-acre garden, bursting in multicolored bloom. There are rare and exotic camellias, many you've never seen anywhere before. Come see this show. It's free. Bring the family, friends, your out-of-town guests. It's going on right now, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays till 3. Bob's Place is on Southeast 38th Street, just east of Lake Weir Avenue in Southeast Ocala and away from all the traffic. Mark it down. This week for sure, the Camellia Show Spectacular at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Do not miss it. In the same blooming place since 1952.
All right, let's return to Veterans News with Gary Pascale. Gary?
Well, this is January, Larry. And
Yes, it is.
it seemed like, when we started planning to stand down, January was a long time coming. But I guess the older we get, the quicker time goes, and it's time for the stand down. Now, the stand down is going to be on January the 31st in this wonderful year of 2020. It'll be at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard, which is the Veterans Resource Center. This year and last year as well, we've did a different take on a stand down. When most people think of a stand down, first one that I've ever heard about was the San Diego model, where they set up like a camp, Larry, for the military people, the veterans to come in, and of course a lot of them were homeless. They went ahead and housed them, showered them, checked out what their needs were, and they had to stay there so many days to get evaluated. And the ones that really wanted the help and needed the help, they were taken and put into whatever type programs or medical treatment they needed. And that that was a great model, because when this started, and I remember hearing about it, and we did some in Ocala. There was a lot of homeless veterans. They were living in the woods. They were out in the wilderness. They were sleeping in cars. And there was a big outcry, I think, from the public. Why should people, that serve their country be homeless? Why should they be living in the woods? Why shouldn't they have medical treatment? So, we picked it up here. Of course, Hank was a pioneer, I think, in the stand downs here. I can remember when I worked for the Salvation Army, and he was having them. He'd always call me, and we'd get together, and he would get a whole bunch of agencies, and we would help these people out. A couple of them we actually even hosted at the Salvation Army. One at the old Center of Hope on First Avenue, and then when we had the new building with the big parking lot, we had one there. In the years past, I can remember when he had one out in the forest, and we had a couple of reserve dentists out there, and they pulled teeth. How relieved people were, that were suffering, with bad teeth and pain, and it got relieved. But, I think the VA heard the cry, and they have made, I got to pat them on the back, Larry. They have made great strides in trying to end homelessness for veterans. I think their goal was to do it in a 5-year plan, which ended probably about 5 years ago. And of course, I don't think it's 100%, but it's a whole lot better than it was. And usually, if we have a homeless veteran that comes to any of the agencies that work with veterans, it's easier to get them placed, within a 24-hour period, to where they're not in that situation and they have what they need, to get medical treatment and something like that. So we've come a long way. So the stand downs we have now it still will focus on those homeless veterans and needy veterans, and we will look for them. We'll start probably in a week or so. We'll be going to the soup kitchens and the places that they gather. We'll talk to law enforcement that know where maybe some camps are where homeless people stay, and get these flyers and get this information to them. But this particular stand down is for all veterans. Of all ages, veterans that may even still be in the military that haven't been discharged, that may be coming home for that final leave, veterans that weren't aware because they served that they might be eligible for some type of benefits, veterans that for some reason just did not get enrolled in the VA healthcare system, which I think personally is a very good system. I think they've kept me going for quite a few years here. Veterans that need a job, or veterans maybe that have a job but that want to advance to a better job. Veterans that are looking for educational benefits. We're going to have so much employment assistance. I was talking by computer, I guess email to somebody from the Border Patrol, and they're going to come and they're going to set up some videos, and they're looking to hire people. So we have that. If you're a disabled veteran and, you're allowed to work, but you feel like, well, what am I going to do? I have limitations. Don't feel that way. Come to the stand down. I have a good friend by the name of Henry Ayala. He works for Career Source, Levy, Marion County. He's what they call the DVOP, which is the Disabled Veterans Representative. He looks at what your capabilities are, what your education is, what he could do to add to what your skill set might be, and fit you with something that you're able to do. And that's what his whole thing is about. If you're needing to put on a suit to go for an interview, if you need some nice clothes, he works, partners with us to do things like that. They're actually going to have a mobile unit out in the parking lot that'll be wired up and hooked up with computers, to get people jobs right on the spot. I have a friend named Jamel Sawyer. He comes to the Vets Helping Vets once a week. Now, he works for the VA, and he is a government job specialist. Oh, really? So you can sit with Jamel, you can talk with Jamel, he'll be there, and he'll tell you about government jobs, what you need to do to get them, and he's very helpful. So this is for everybody. The fine folks at the Ocala Clinic, which we have a very good relationship with, they come here once a month, and they talk about vital health issues, and Larry, you usually moderate that for us, so I thank you for that. But we have a great relationship with them. They're willing to leave their space that day and come to the stand down and get people registered. They're going to have a nurse there that would probably do some checks on the vital. If you need this or you need that. Now, a lot of veterans might say, well, I was in the military, Larry, and I messed up, I don't have any benefits, so why should I bother coming to the stand down? Well, if you're a veteran, and you're in that situation, don't sweat it, Or, there is cases where, people may have even served honorably for one reason or another, and there was a time limit that they didn't meet, and they're not eligible for VA care. So we have defined folks at Freedom. That's not like Freedom to Medicare, but we do have them there too. It's FRE.DOM. They're great people. They provide medical assistance of all types to low-income people. They're going to be there doing mental health screening and a lot of other stuff. Vision, the VA is going to be there for vision, but again, if you're in that category where you don't qualify for VA benefits, I talked to somebody from the Lions Club, they're going to be there. So there's just so much stuff that's going to be there for you. If you're, for some reason, you want to go job hunting and you don't look as good as you think you need to look and you need a haircut, we got people there that's going to cut your hair. If you need housing assistance, we're going to have people from the VA that will, walk you through the HUD-VASH program and things of that nature. We're going to have VA social workers there. Home ownership. Now, a lot of veterans that have a job and they're making it, but they're paying high rent. We have a person, her name is Jinky Diaz. She's the one we talked about, for the big event that we got coming up on Friday. she works for Caliber Home Loans, and she has an office in our building. She'll be at the stand down. She can talk to veterans about how to get their VA loan, how to get their credit cleaned up, and home ownership. Some of the older veterans that may have maybe on Medicare or Medicaid or be at that time in their life where they're eligible, but they haven't been advised on what kind of plan do I need. And this is something that you might have to juggle a little bit if you're a veteran, because here you got the VA health care, and a lot of veterans say, well, I really don't need to take the Medicare plan, but it works out. It worked out for me. So we'll have a fine gentleman there that will gladly give you free advice. He can show you different plans. And what I like about our guy, Scott Young, that does this, and Gwen Young, they do what's best for the client, not what's best for them. And I think that's what makes them so good. We're going to have social service there. I talked to someone from Interfaith this week, a good friend of mine, Diane Coleman, and what she does over there, she helps people get prescription assistance. Now, people that don't have insurance, people that might not be eligible, again, for VA benefits. Maybe you need something like insulin or diabetic supplies or antibiotics or that kind of thing. She does that kind of thing. She has some kind of program. I'm not exactly sure how it works, Larry, but they hook people up with their drugs, and they get them for free. And they could do it up to a year. Sorry about that with the phone here. I'm not used to this new phone I got the other day. But, it's going to be everything. And even, I don't want to call this unpleasant, but the stand down is going to go as far as to have planning, for your, your final ending, funeral planning. End-of-life care, hospice is going to be there. So, we're going to try to cover everything a veteran might need. Now, what do I need from the audience, Larry? And this is a big thing. If you belong to a church or some type of organization, what I really need you to do is take down this phone number, 352-433-2320. Contact me, Gary. I'm usually there every day but Friday. If you have some kind of organization and you want flyers for the stand down, and you can get them electronically, I have it in my computer. You can simply give me an email address, and I'll get you one of these flyers. What I'd like is all the churches in Ocala, if you would, if you could put this in your bulletin, all the VFWs, the American Legions, the AMVETs, the DAVs, let your members know this is going on. If you're part of one of these organizations, obviously you're a veteran, so, come on to the stand down. You don't have to necessarily do everything. Walk around, see if there's, something that, that you would be interested in, that you don't have, that you need. And also, if you want to talk to people about membership, you would be welcome to do that at this time. And again, complete social services and substance abuse counseling we're going to have there. So join us, and we'll talk about this again before one more time. But for right now, we got to close. So for Hank Whittier, I just want to say, God bless America.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House today considers a resolution calling for congressional approval for any further military action in Iran. It has some Republican support in the Senate. But Vice President Pence says about the drone strike on a top Iranian general.
Thanks to the president's leadership, thanks to the extraordinary work of our military in the region, the world is safer today, and American personnel in the region and America are safer too.
He was on Fox and Friends. A plan to get people off the streets in California.
Governor Gavin Newsom says he will ask lawmakers to put $1.4 billion in this year's budget toward addressing homelessness. The money would go to local organizations that work on housing and healthcare services. The California Legislative Analyst's Office has said that between 1980 and 2010, an additional 3 million housing units should have been built in the state to keep housing costs increasing in line with the rest of the country.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal in Los Angeles. America's listening to Fox News.
When Allstate agents and employees go to work every day, their number one priority is protecting what matters most to you. For military veterans, that instinct to protect also comes naturally. No wonder thousands of veterans build good careers with Allstate. And now, Allstate is ranked the number one employer on the 2020 Military Friendly Employers list.